Hello ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out today. Today I would like to present to you all my favorite company and investment opportunity, Blackstone Incorporated. Blackstone Incorporated is a leading global investment business that employs extraordinary people and invests in companies, real estate, infrastructure, and other assets. Their expertise is unmatched. Their unmatched expertise allows for massive scaling and growth and fosters innovation throughout communities. Here is exactly why I believe that everyone should be adding Blackstone to their portfolio, if you don't already have it in your portfolio. My first point is the tremendous growth momentum. In May of 2020, Blackstone stock was around $53. It's now more than doubled the price. It currently stands at $111 today. If you would have invested, you would have more than 100%. You would have more than 100% returns on your investment. The second point is they took advantage of the COVID situation, a situation that really hurt a lot of people who were in real estate and especially in the retail and office space, asset class. And they took advantage of this situation and became better, and I'll explain that further. And the final reason why I believe that you should invest in Blackstone is because of the broad portfolio of assets that it has to offer. Before I get into all of that, let me give you a little background on how Blackstone started. Blackstone started in 1985 as a mergers and acquisitions firm. It was started by Peter Peterson and Stephen Schwartzman, who had previously worked together at Lehman Brothers. A lot of you may know Lehman Brothers, and Lehman Brothers clearly had a great reputation until they didn't. But clearly, Peter Peterson and Stephen Schwartzman knew what they were doing, and they are a very trustworthy source, and they must not have been involved in any of the scandals because they were still trusted by professionals in the industry worldwide. Not long after they started the company, they became the largest alternative asset manager in the world. Let me talk about the growth that has followed Blackstone from its inception to now. So the low that Blackstone started as was $37. It is now currently at $111. It's reached a high of $146, and that high can be beaten in the future. I have no doubt that it will be beaten in the future because there's a lot more growth potential for Blackstone, possibly more than any other company at the moment. They have recently surpassed JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs in terms of market value. They have $268 billion invested in private equity, $298 billion invested in real estate, $83 billion invested in hedge fund solutions, and $266 billion invested in credit and insurance. When looking at the numbers, in 2021 fourth quarter earnings report, Blackstone Incorporated reported revenue rise of 58.8% year on year. That's a huge growth rate. This seems high, yet it is still much lower than the company's recent average revenue surge of 403.99%. Only 10 other companies within the investment services industry achieved higher growth in this quarter. Some adjustments that Blackstone has made from the beginning of when COVID started to now, because a lot of people are shifting away from office space, which was a lot of what Blackstone did at the time, office and retail space. But they have shifted from those more volatile commercial properties like retail and lodging. And retail now makes up 5% of equity value compared to 19% in 2015. Hotels now account for 7%, down from 23% in 2015. Traditional office space accounts for 5% now, compared to 19% in 2015. And they boosted industrial space and e-commerce. They boosted industrial space to 36%, up from only 9% in 2015. And they boosted their e-commerce by a lot, which is something that is a booming industry at this very moment. Some great features and benefits of Blackstone are that it is privately traded, which means it won't decline during a broad market sell-off, and it provides greater portfolio diversification because they reduce an investor's correlation to the stock market. Real estate is basically a hedge against inflation, which we all know is a huge problem at this moment. Another feature is you can invest in Blackstone with a low minimum investment of $2,500. As an investor, you can go straight to your financial advisor, and it is structured differently from other non-traded REITs, which means a lot of these other non-traded REITs charge high fees, and they offer limited investor disclosure. With Blackstone, you will always be kept in the loop. Blackstone will be completely transparent with you, and there's low fees. And to top it off, the cherry on top, Blackstone, unlike other mega companies like Apple, Twitter, Tesla, Google, and other giants, they offer a guaranteed return dividend yield of 3.75%. My final point of why you should invest in Blackstone is because of the broad portfolio of assets that it has to offer. Not only are you investing in real estate, which is a hedge against inflation, something that's always a smart investment, depending on if you do it correctly, but they also have a lot of money invested in private equity, hedge funds, credit insurance, and they've been expanding into e-commerce. There's so much diversification that comes with investing in Blackstone. To recap all of these things and why you should invest in Blackstone, it is growing at a rapid pace that is almost unprecedented. As I mentioned before, the market value is now higher than Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs, two giants that, frankly, nobody would have ever expected Blackstone to have beaten, because these are two giants that have been staples in this asset class forever. The next point that I would like to recap is how they took advantage of the COVID situation. Blackstone, unlike other companies that invest into office space and retail and lodging, they took advantage of this situation by moving away from a lot of volatile assets such as those, and they moved more into industrial space, which is now a booming industry. And not only did they move into industrial space, but they moved into e-commerce, which is also another booming industry, which they now are heavily invested in. And the final reason that I would like to recap is the broad portfolio of assets that comes with investing in Blackstone. When investing, a lot of people think that just investing in Blackstone simply means investing in real estate or investing in hedge funds. No, it's a little bit of real estate, it's a little bit of hedge funds, it's a little bit of credit and insurance, infrastructure, industrial space, e-commerce. There's so many things that you're investing in when investing in Blackstone, and you are highly diversified. So you can't really go wrong with investing in Blackstone. This is my favorite company to invest in right now, and I strongly urge that you all consider not only investing 10% of your portfolio, 20% of your portfolio, but perhaps even more into this amazing company that will continue to grow and grow at a very rapid pace as it has in the past few years. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming.